Hey, what's up you guys? Today I wanted to count down my top 10 favorite series that I've ever read. So I've got two honorable mentions before I get into this list, which is Narnia, which was a great series that I read when I was a kid. I just haven't read it in forever and I don't really remember everything that really happened in it. And it's one of those series where I feel like certain books shine better than other ones. Like The John Shredder was one of my favorite books in the series, but The Horse and His Boy was really boring. And so it is a great series, but it just doesn't stay consistent throughout every book. So that's why that one is not appearing on this list, even though it is definitely a fantastic series that I read. And then another one is Lord of the Rings. I absolutely adore the movies for this series, and I read the books. They just don't stand up to the films like I expected them to. They have moments where they're just very boring and very dry. They are fantastic books. They're just not books that are for me. I did really enjoy them. I really enjoy parts of them. It's just they aren't an all-time favorite book series, even though I do love them and I have such a warm place in my heart for them, and they are fantastic. So let's kick this off with series number 10. So this series is the Illuminate Files, which is a trilogy written by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So I absolutely love this series. I thought it was told in such an interesting and unique way, and I highly recommend this series if you haven't checked it out yet. The audiobooks are fantastic. I'm currently rereading Gemina via audiobook and I am absolutely loving it right now. So do check those books out. They are really great. They have such great characters, and they're one of the few sci-fi books that I've read that I thought have just been done really well. The descriptions are very well done. The world building is set up in a way that I just love. So the next series on my list is the Shatter Me series. So I'm just referring to the first three books because these are the only books that I have read in this series. So this goes for the rest of the book series that I'm talking about in this video, is that I have completed all of the series except for this one, and I've only read the first three books, but I do kind of consider this a series on its own. The newer books are just an additional trilogy in my opinion. I really love this trilogy. I thought it was told so well. I loved the writing style. I know that it's not a writing style that's for everyone. It is kind of flowery. It is very descriptive. I just know that it is a little bit of a different and more poetic writing style, and if that's something that you don't really enjoy, then these books probably aren't going to be your favorite thing in the world. But I really loved them. I really loved the unique writing style. I loved the characters. I loved how relationships developed. I loved the friendships. This is just a great series. Kenji is definitely my favorite character overall, so do check these out if you haven't. I'm sure you have or have heard of them, but now you've heard a little more. So now we're on to number 8. Oh crap, I'm just kidding about that. I've read all of the books in the series this once, because number 8, I picked Bloodlines. And I love Bloodlines, but I haven't read the last book in the series. This is just a favorite of mine because I didn't want to put Vampire Academy on this list because Vampire Academy is not as great as Bloodlines. And this series is just so fantastic. I love the relationship in it. I really love how the romance is done in this book and how it builds throughout the series. And I love the characters. I feel like these books are such an improvement on the original Vampire Academy series, and Sydney is just so strong, and I love how she changes throughout the series, and I love how Adrian also changes, and I love how they build each other up. Number 7. That seems stupid. Number 7, The Lunar Chronicles. My sister is actually currently reading my copy of Scarlet, but I do own all the ones in the series and I love them all. They are all so great. I love the characters in them. Cress is by far my favorite, and I absolutely love her relationship with Captain Thorne. Cutest thing ever. I don't really know if that's a spoiler, so sorry. I love this series. It is so unique. This is another sci-fi series that I was just so impressed with. I don't normally latch on to sci-fi books that well because I find the descriptions to be not as good as I would like them to be, but this book I really latched on to. I really latched on to the characters. I love all of them, and I love how the story really unfolds, and I like how the different fairy tales are retold. And as I was reading these books, I remember reading the original fairy tales and seeing those similarities and those connections between the original fairy tales and these books. So it's not just the Disney retelling, it's a retelling of the original story, of the original fairy tale, especially with Cress. I highly recommend that you read Rapunzel either while you're reading Cress or right before you start it, because I really loved all of the different Easter eggs in the books that are from those original stories. So I do recommend that you do that while you're reading these books, but they are really fantastic. 6666666. Number 6. Number 6 is Shirtless Dude. I remember so many times bringing this to school and being like, look at my shirtless dude, because I was like in the 8th grade or something reading these books, and I absolutely loved them. Me and my friend read these together, and it was such a great experience, and we absolutely loved them together, and we gushed about them constantly. Our friends thought we were ridiculous because we were both carrying around our books all the time, and she's the one who introduced me to a lot of other books that I have since read, such as Divergent, and I just have so many memories reading these books with her and loving them and playing like weird booktube games with her. I mean, we didn't film them or anything, it's just games that we learned from booktube, like the putting your character name on your head thing. We did that with a lot of characters in these books, and it was just so fun. So I have so many memories of that, and I just love these books. I think they're so fun. The characters are so unique, and I know that the first couple books in the series aren't the best in the world. I can recognize that now that I've read a lot more, but I just read these at such a perfect time for me. I read them right after I finished Twilight, and I needed something. You know, you need something after Twilight, because Twilight just opens your eyes to the fantasticness of reading. Before Twilight, I didn't really know that I actually loved reading. I mean, I knew that I liked to read, but I didn't know that it was something that I absolutely adore and that I would have so much fun doing and that I could go on so many rides with. 5. So this is a series that I know that I've talked a lot about, but I love it. So we're going to talk about it again. Six of Crows. I have a book talk. Check it out. But I absolutely love this series, Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom. It's a duology, and I loved it. So this is like a companion duology to the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo, and I was not the biggest fan of that trilogy. It just did not have the world building that I wanted, and so I came into these with not the highest expectations in the world. I mean, they weren't like down in the dirt, but they weren't great. But these books just blew me away. They were so fantastic. The world building was so great. The characters are all so fantastic, and they just reminded me so much of real people. Like, they felt like real people to me. They didn't feel like they were one thing, or that they were over dramatized, or that the situations that they went through wouldn't ever happen. I mean, I do know that this is like a super fantasy book, so like this isn't real, but they just felt like real people. 4. So number 4. Pretend that was a lightning sound. But this is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, and I absolutely love this series. I read this when I was in high school, ? I might have been at the tail end of middle school, but I think I was in high school. And at the time, I don't think I appreciated these books as much as I have now. I recently reread them, and I totally forgot how fast-paced they are, and how unique the characters are, and how fun the adventure is. These are such quest books, and you're really following them on this journey, and it's almost reminiscent of Lord of the Rings, where it is this journey to defeat this all-powerful evil, or almost all-powerful evil, and you're not the strongest one, you're not stronger than the evil, you are gooder, you are better, you are a better person, and that is what makes you different, and that is what makes you stronger, and I loved that throughout these books, and I loved the Percy and Annabeth dynamic that's going on, and I just thought it was a fun ride from start to finish. I have not finished the Heroes of Olympus series, but I would like to one day. I have not read the last book, even though I've heard that it isn't as great as the rest of the series. I do really want to get to it. 3. So number 3 is The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. So this is the second Cassandra Clare series that is on my list, so you could say that she is one of my favorites. But I absolutely love this series. This is the best love triangle that I've ever seen done. And I feel like the series was so much stronger than the Mortal Instruments. The writing was so much better. The world building so much stronger. The characters were so much more dynamic, and they weren't as annoying as some of the characters in the Mortal Instruments were. And so this is just such a fantastic series. So now we're to the top 2. I feel like these ones are going to be easy to guess because I haven't said them yet. But I'm going to say them now. So this is my copy that is easier to grab, which is Twilight. I do own 2 copies of this. I own a black copy and I own a white copy because I wanted them both. And I really don't know what to say about Twilight that hasn't already been said. So yeah, fantastic. Go Jacob. And last but not least is my number one, Harry Potter. They're all right here. Right in the perfect line of eyesight because they are my favorite. I remember buying this $80 box set of these books and then giving my old copies that I had stolen from my school library to my brother or sister. I don't remember who I gave them to. I gave them to one of them. And I remember my brother getting me all of these for Christmas in different years. I just adore these books. I adore Harry. I adore Hogwarts. I am a Slytherin and I am proud. I really feel like I grew up with these books and I just read them at such a crucial time in my life where I needed something to be passionate about and to care about. And this was what I cared about. I cared about Harry Potter and I adore the series. Everything about the series is just perfect in my opinion. The world building, fantastic. I know that there are definitely some plot holes in it, but I can totally ignore those and be fine with those because the characters, the relationships, everything is so strong. The development of Voldemort, I absolutely love it. So it's just my favorite series of all time. So thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video. Comment down below some of your favorite series. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I post videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, so I will see you then. Goodbye.